Hey everyone, so Foundations came out, and with it, they gave us a whole slew of new starter decks to enjoy. And we're going to do what we always do on this channel, take a look at the new starter decks, find out how we can upgrade them on a budget, and see if they're any good or not. So let's get started with today's first new starter deck. It is the green and white deck called Cat Attack. I'll give you one guess as to what the theme of this deck is. Okay, so we have gone ahead and already done the editing of this deck off screen, and this is what we've ended up with. The original deck was a green and white cat-based aggressive deck. The deck had a lot of kind of like just junk in it, so I cleared a lot of that out, streamlined it, dropped the overall mana cost down to about 2 to 3, so it's not a balls out aggro deck, nor is it a deck that's a little too slow. I think it's got a nice sweet spot in the 1, 2, and 3 range of mana costs. So let's take a look at it real quick. So we start with Savannah Lion, classic 2-1 for 1. Then we have Shard Mage's Rescue. I brought Shard Mage's Rescue in here just because the fact that this is a green and white deck means we don't have a whole lot of room for mistakes, we'll say. Like there are solid removal spells in green and white, but for a deck like this that wants to finish the game before it really gets a chance to start, you kind of want to have a few protective spells in your deck to make sure that you don't get blown out. And so that's where Shard Mage's Rescue comes in. Also, we are running Invasion of Gobakhan. Invasion of Gobakhan is a fantastic way to set your opponent off balance by interrupting their next relevant spell, and then defeating the invasion and then getting Light Shield Array onto the battlefield. Light Shield Array is fantastic because it also, at the end of turn, gives a +1/+1 counter to every creature that attacked this turn. And then you can sacrifice it to give your creatures hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. That way you can save yourself from pesky removal or even certain board wipes. Next up, in the creatures, we have Sky Knight Squire. This is one of the new Foundations card and is pretty damn cool. For only 2 mana, you get a 1/1 creature that is a cat. And it says, whenever another creature you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. As long as this creature has 3 or more +1/+1 counters on it, it has flying and is a knight in addition to its other types. So if it gets big enough, it takes flight, and then boom, you have a flying cat. Secondly, we have Leonin Sky Hunter, which is a reprint of an old card that I think does fit this deck's theme pretty well. It's just a 2/2 flyer for 2 white mana. It's very simple, very elegant, gets the job done. Then we have Arabo, First Fang. For 2 goals and a white, you get a 2/2. This creature gives all of your other cats +1/+1. And whenever Arabo or another non-token cat you control enters, create a 1/1 white cat creature token. So with Arabo on the table, basically you're paying 3 mana for this 2/2 and a 2/2 token. So 3 mana for 4/4 worth of stats across 2 cards, not too bad. Continuing the theme of going wide, we have Prideful Parent. Again, 2 and white for a 2/2 with Vigilance, and when this cat enters, create a 1/1 white cat creature token. So you got 2 different ways to help yourself go wide, and also create a pretty decent board state. Then we have a Johnny Color of the Pride. Only 2 copies of this because this is more of like a Sucker Punch kind of card. Mostly for its second ability, the -3. Target creature gains flying and double strike until end of turn. So if your opponent is either tapped out or doesn't have the relevant defenses, you can take a creature that was on the ground, throw him in the air, give him double strike until end of turn. The +1 to put a +1/+1 counter is still relevant in this deck because of the next card that we're going to talk about, and that is Kutzil, Malamet Exemplar, one of the only green cards in the deck. 3/3 for 3 mana, your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. Again, following with the theme of disruption that we started with Shard Mage's Rescue and Invasion of Gobakhan. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control, each with power greater than its base power, deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So The way that works is if you attack with a creature that is bigger than it originally was when it first came into play, you get to draw a card when it connects. So that is like Sky Knight Squire, who gets bigger as the game goes on. That is Arabo giving your cats +1/+1. That is a Johnny giving +1/+1 counters to your creature. So any of those instances of creatures getting bigger, oh, also the Light Shield Array does that too. It makes it so you can start to generate value off of the hits. Next up, we have 2 copies of Felidar Retreat. I thought this card was kind of cool. It's 3 colorless and a white, so it's on the higher end of the mana curve. And it says, landfall, whenever a land you control enters, choose 1. Create a 2/2 white cat beast creature token, or put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Those creatures gain vigilance until end of turn. So you can turn your late game lands into benefit. Next up, we have Felidar Survivor. It is, or Savior, I mean. It's a 2/3 with lifelink for 4 mana, and when this creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 other target creatures you control. So again, making your creatures bigger, giving you better threats, helping you finish the game. And then we have Sovereign Okanek Ahau. This is like the big hitter cat. He's a pretty cool card. For 4 mana, you get a 3/4 with Ward 2. And it says, whenever Sovereign Okanek Ahau attacks, for each creature you control with power greater than that creature's base power, put a number of +1/+1 counters on that creature equal to the difference. So if you've got, say, Sky Knight Squire with 2 +1/+1 counters on it, and you attack with it, and you attack with Sovereign, Sovereign will put an additional 2 +1/+1 counters on the Sky Knight Squire, because 2 is the difference between its starting attack power and its current attack power. So this guy just makes your cats all that much stronger. Also, it'll do it to himself too if he's got +1 counters on him. And then last card in our deck is Claws Out, a very good combat trick with this deck. It looks like it costs a lot, but it actually doesn't. This spell costs 1 colorless less for every cat you control, and it gives creatures you control +2/+2 until end of turn. So on a good attack turn, this actually is only going to cost 2 mana. So that is a great finisher for when you have successfully gone wide and are ready to finish the game. Now, lands, we are actually going a little bit different this time. Typically, I don't touch the mana bases a whole lot, but I wanted to fix up the mana base with this simply because there are only 2 green cards in the deck, and the rest of the deck is white. If you wanted to, you could make this deck mono white and cut out a lot of the rare lands, but I really think these 2 cards add a lot of value to this existing deck. So, looking at the lands, we're running 11 Plains, 2 Brushland, 4 Hushwood Verge, 4 Razorridge Thicket, and 3 Restless Prairie. And if you look at this, every land in the deck produces white. The dual lands just happen to also produce green. And the whole reason for that is because the majority of the deck is all white. Actually, the entire deck is white. There's just 2 cards that happen to also be green. So that's why I went with this kind of unorthodox mana base. Now, if you look at the actual meat and potatoes of the deck itself, you'll see that it is fairly budget. So that's uncommon, that's uncommon. Invasion, that's a rare. So there's 3 of those. You got 3 of those and 3 of those. That's 6 rares so far. 3 more, that's 9. 10, 11. 12, 13. 14, 15. So that's 15 rares in the main bulk of the deck. If you happen to have the extra rares to craft the lands, you can, but these are kind of extra. Like I said, you can go mono white with this deck if you don't have access to these lands. So that's the deck. We're going to take it out, try it a few games with it, and see how well it does. And I will see you again on the back end of this video. Okay, so we open with a Plains and a Hushwood Verge. We have Savannah Lions, Shard Mage's Rescue, Invasion, Lane and Sky Hunter, and Sky Knight Squire. It's a pretty low to the ground hand. I think I'll keep it. Alright, opponent goes first with a Forest into Commune with Nature. And they revealed a Hulking Raptor. That's a little scary. Let's see. We'll play the Razorverge Thicket into a Savannah Lion. Okay, they have revealed that they are a red and green dinosaur deck. Alright, blocking that. Okay, let's go. Do we Hushwood Verge or Plains? I think we go Plains. And then we will go. I think we'll go with Sky Knight Squire first. And then attack for 2. I want the Sky Knight Squire first so that I can drop a Leonin and a Savannah Lions next turn to give 2 +1s. No blocks. Okay, next turn, Hushwood Verge is in. And I am going to cast... I'm going to cast the Invasion of Gobekon. Take a peek at your hand there. You got Raptor, Earthshaker Dreadmaw, and Galta. I think we're going to get rid of Earthshaker Dreadmaw. Make that thing cost just a little bit more. And then we're going to attack right there to unlock the invasion. And they're not playing any way to damage our creatures, so I feel safe playing the Savannah Lions right now. End turn. +1 counters on my boys. So now, the Sky Knight Square has 2 +1 counters on it, so the next creature that I play is going to give Sky Knight Squire +1 and flying. Okay, he's going to come at me with Itzkinth. I will not block. Alright, my turn. Okay. Ooh. Oh, shoot. I'm 1 off from casting it. That's fine. So we'll play the Lane and Sky Hunter. Okay. And then we'll go next. And I'm going to attack with the Sky Knight Sky Squire and the Savannah Lions. Okay. As I expected, he's going to block with the Hulking Raptor. Now, Shard Mage's Rescue gives Hexproof. It does not give Indestructible. So we will not be casting that. Alright. Opponent goes to 14. And we end the turn. +1 counter on the Squire. Okay, we got an Ixali's Lorekeeper. He's getting a little bit closer to casting that big boy over there. Plays another Hulking Raptor. Okay, my turn. Ooh, nice. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. So we're going to play a Johnny. And we are going to see here. So if we do double strike, so we can do this flying and double strike. So this will hit for 4. This will hit for 5. So that's 4, 9, 10, 11. It's almost enough. So I don't think we're going to do that. What we will do is we're going to give double strike to the Squire right now. And we're going to hit for 10, 11, 12. Keeping the Savannah Lions back to block just in case I need a solid blocker. Alright, that puts our opponent to 2. More +1 counters on my boys. So, provided they don't mess with my creatures too much, I should be able to win this next turn. And I don't think they have enough damage to kill me this turn. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total mana available to them. They play Galta. When Galta enters, put any number of creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. Earthshaker Dreadmaw, when it enters, draw a card for each other dinosaur you control. That's fine. So that... Actually, that's exiled, so he can't even put that into play. It's not in his hand anymore. We'll play a Kogla and Yadaro. Okay. So it's going to fight one of my creatures. Okay. So that's when we sacrifice this to give Indestructible. Now, Kogla and Galta both do not have haste. And now that my Savannah Lions is Indestructible, I can choose to block either one of these perfectly fine. So I'm going to choose to block the Hulking Raptor. Yep. And they see the writing on the wall. Good game. Alright, what do we got this time? So we have 3 planes, a Hushwood Verge, 2 Savannah Lions, and a Claws Out. It's not the best open, but it's got lands and early creatures, and we get to go first, so let's give it a shot. Alright, first land of the game is a Plains. Let's play that Savannah Lions. Alright, opponent opens with a Concealed Courtyard. I'll go Plains, and then I will attack for 2, see if they do anything. They did not do anything, they did not hold priority, so I'm going to play a Sky Knight Squire. See, they're hesitating to play their second land of the game. Does that mean they don't have one? No, they have one. Skrelv's Hive is coming in. Okay, that may actually play to our advantage. Let's play the Hushwood Verge and play a Savannah Lions. +1 counter on the Squire. Attack. End turn. Opponent loses 1 life and makes a dude. Plays his Plains into Ruthless Lawbringer. Okay. They're gonna bust up my Sky Knight. That's a pretty good use of the Skrelv's Hive. Okay, my turn. Let's go Brushland, and then we'll go Kutsil. Then we will attack. And if they block with their Lawbringer, go to 11. Go to 10, making a Might. Wait, Essence Channeler. Okay. They play another land. It's the Scarab Barons, so they get a +1 counter there. Alright, we got the Shard Mage's Rescue. Let's go Plains into Claws Out. And then we will attack, like so. Okay, I'm going to put a Shard Mage's Rescue there to make sure he survives. Go to 6. Okay. Essence Chandler's tokens move. I draw a card. And it's a Felidar Savior. He's got 2 creatures that can't block. That's awesome for them. Let's see what they do with their turn. Zoraline. Okay, that's a good card. Attack for 2. I get 1 poison counter. Okay, I'm going to play Felidar Savior. He's going to come in and put a +1 counter on both of my guys. And then we attack. He's going to block Zoraline against the Savannah Lions. Kutsil comes through, deals some damage, and they're going to kill themselves with Skrelv's Hive. Good game. Okay, what do we got this time? We have 2 Plains, 2 Invasions, a Lane and Sky Hunter, a Felidar Retreat, and a Claws Out. It's not the best open, but I do like the Invasion, so I'll keep it. Alright, turn 1, play Plains. Okay, opponent plays a Forest. Okay, they do nothing with their turn, so I'll play another Plains into a Leyland Sky Hunter. One plays a second Forest for a Nessian Hornbeetle. Interesting. Alright, let's go here. Then I will play a Johnny to get a +1/+1 counter on the Sky Hunter. That will set us up nicely for next turn when we play the Invasion of Gobekon. Opponent plays a third Forest into a Mossborn Hydra. Interesting. So that's another new creature. So trample. This creature enters with a +1/+1 counter on it. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, double the number of +1/+1 counters on this creature. Pretty cool. Alright, let's go Plains. And then we're going to go Invasion. Invasion comes in. Let's see. Garrick's Uprising, Hornbeetle, Inspiring Call, or Bushwhack. I'm going... Okay, so even if I take the Bushwhack out, he's still going to be able to cast it. The Inspiring Call will be a lot harder to cast. Nessian Hornbeetle, he'll still be able to cast next turn. Garrick's Uprising. I think we'll get rid of the Garrick's Uprising. Okay, and then we go next. I'll attack right there. Pop him. Comes back. And then we'll go another +1/+1 counter on the Leonin, just to incentivize our opponent to attack a Johnny. And while we're at it, we'll play another Invasion, just to use our mana here. And let's make it so Inspiring Call is harder to cast. End turn. +1 counter on the Leonin. They play Loot, the Exuberant Explorer. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. That plays into the Mossborn Hydra's ability pretty well. And they Bushwhack, searching their library for a land so they can get another +1 counter on Mossborn Hydra. Then they get a +1 on the Nessian Hornbeetle, because now they have a 4/4 creature. And they go there, and then they send the Hornbeetle at my face. Totally fine with that. Ow, ow. Alright, so it's my turn. So we're going to go with the... We'll play the Brushland later. So first we're going to play Feldar Retreat. And then we're going to play this Brushland, put a +1/+1 counter on my Lane and Sky Hunter and give it Vigilance this turn. Then we're going to attack the invasion. Pop it. Invasion comes back, and now we're going to be getting 2 +1/+1 counters on my creature every turn. So it's now an 8/8, and I can give it Hexproof and Indestructible if I so desire. Mossborn Hydra is pretty good. I like that card. Alright, Garruk's Uprising resolves. They pay all their mana to cast it too, and draw a card off of it. Was it a land? Well, that was a land. +1 on the Mossborn. Ooh. Mossborn Hydra's getting pretty big over there. And he chose not to do anything, which is great for me. Okay, let's go ahead and play a Savannah Lions. And then we will attack. Ooh, gosh. Whenever land enters, double the number of +1 encounters on this creature. That could potentially kill me if they draw into another land, because they did not play 2 lands last turn. But we can't be living life on the edge. Smash them. End turn. Gets 2+ encounters, so either they kill me this turn, or I kill them next turn. Did they get a land? They got an Inspiring Call. I see. So they're going to draw a card for each creature with a + encounter on it. That's going to be 2. And all the creatures have trample. I'm probably going to die this turn if they drew a single land. Did they draw a land? They did not draw a land. So now they have to go find a land. Okay. Themselves up to 16. That is a big, big creature. And then they come at me with everything. So even if I pump this up to having 3 toughness, I'm still going to lose. Yeah, there's really not much I can do about that, is there? No. No, so we pack it in. That's good game. Good game, friend. No blocks. Okay, so this is a perfect example of a hand that I would not want to keep. 4 lands, only a single creature, and 2 planeswalkers. Not the best. So I'm going to mulligan this. Okay, that looks a little bit better. So 2 Razorverge Thicket of planes, Shard Mage's Rescue, Invasion, Leonin, and Kutzil. So I will keep 6, sending back one of the Razorverge Thickets, because I should only need 2 lands for the majority of this hand, and I should draw into a 3rd land by the time it is time to play Kutzil. Famous last words, of course. Alright, Blood and Blazing Plains. Okay, there's the land. Sweet. Never punished. Play that Lane and Sky Hunter. I'm going to place a mountain into Baird the Argivian Recruiter. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power greater than its base power, create a 1/1 soldier. Interesting. Alright, let's go here, and then we're going to play Invasion of Gobakon. Take a look at your hand. Philogy Vanguard, Patchwork Banner, 2 banners, 2 Captain's Call. Okay, I guess we're going to take the Philogy Vanguard out. Then, I'm going to Shard Mage's Rescue preemptively, just to pump its power enough to take down the invasion in 1 turn. Invasion of Gobakon comes back, and end the turn, +1 counter on the way in. I'm going to blaze a 2nd Plains into Patchwork Banner. They choose a creature type. Creature type is Soldier. Ooh, I can see where you're getting at here. He's about to go wide. Yep, come on in, champ. Alright, makes another guy. Alright, my turn. So let's go ahead and play a Kutzil. Kutzil comes in. I'm going to attack for 4 in the sky. Put him to 16. I draw a card off of Kutzil because the Sky Hunter is bigger than normal. Light Shield Array one more time. I'm going to place another Patchwork Banner. Choosing Soldier again. I'm about to take a lot of damage. No blocks. Pass, pass, pass. I go to 6 health. He makes another Soldier. My turn. Okay, so we got Claws Out. Claws Out is not really going to get us there. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8. It would only be 2 more damage on each creature. So let's play a Rabo. Make another dude, and then we say, let's see. So he's got 2 Captain's Call. So on his turn, he's going to be creating 3 1/1s. So we don't have the luxury of waiting. So I'm going to say next, attack for 6, I think. Yeah, I think I'll just attack for 6. Put him to 10. Draw a card. Alright, cool, we got a land out of it. So let's play that and play Savannah Lions. Okay, cool. That ended up pretty good. So, if our opponent goes all out this turn, I may be able to win next turn. Okay. Yeah, they're going to make 3 dudes. Perfect. Okay, so he's coming in. So, I'm going to go to blocks. Then we're going to go, this is going to block here. And then this and this are going to block here. And this is going to block here. And this is going to block here. Those are the blockers. Then we're going to activate the Light Shield Array to give everyone indestructible. Exactly as I planned. Good game. Okay, and we are back with the post-game wrap-up, and my thoughts on the deck are, it's pretty decent. Like, for a cat tribal deck that isn't necessarily super fast or super slow, it's kind of in the middle, it's a pretty decent starter deck. And with the upgrades that we made, it did pretty well. I liked where the deck landed. So, as far as like MVPs of the deck, I would definitely say Invasion of Gobekon is an MVP here. The ability to offset your opponent's next plays and also pump up and protect your creatures is really, really strong for only 2 mana. So I would definitely recommend looking into Invasion of Gobekon. Really good card. Aside from that, Kutzil is definitely a good reason to be running green. The ability to shut off your opponent's spells during your turn and getting card draw off of your creatures that are just naturally growing bigger over time is a really, really good include. So I definitely recommend Kutzil as well. As far as cards that did not really perform that hot, I would probably say Felidar Retreat did not do as well as I expected, but I think that's more on the deck's design than the card itself, because the deck is not really designed to trigger landfall a whole lot. So this card would probably go much better in a different deck. So I'd probably cut this for either a couple more 1 or 2 drops, or maybe a couple pieces of removal. That might actually work pretty well. Aside from that, Felidar Savior was also kind of a middling card. It wasn't great, it wasn't bad, it was just kind of middle of the road. I was never like super excited to see it, nor was I ever upset to see it. It's just kind of in the middle. So that's where I fall on Felidar Retreat. Aside from that, the rest of the deck works pretty well. I really like Ajani for giving us a way to put double strike on a creature. Leyland Sky Hunter and Sky Knight Squire are great evasive creatures. Shard Mage's Rescue is an awesome protection spell. Prideful Parent and Arabo giving you a way to go wide is also very awesome. It's honestly just a by the numbers decent build. So I would probably recommend taking this deck out for a spin, especially if it's like one of the first decks that you have your eyes on. It's pretty easy to upgrade. There are only 15 rares in the main bulk of the deck. More if you choose to go the route that I did with the mana base, but you can avoid that if you don't have the wild cards to craft all these rare lands. So yeah, there it is. That's the deck. If this video gave you any kind of value whatsoever, if you liked what you saw, then feel free to subscribe, because this is only the first of these upgrade decks that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a video on all the new starter decks that we just received, so you can feel free to look forward to those as they come out. Aside from that, you can leave a comment down below, leave a like if you got any value from this video. There will be a link to the deck list in the description box down below, so you can take this deck out yourself and maybe iterate on it further, make it your own. So until next time, you take care of yourself.